So I recently saw Men in Black International over the weekend. I just wanted to talk about it briefly. It came out earlier this year. It stars Chris Hemsworth, Emma Thompson, Rebecca Ferguson, Emma Thompson. I always confuse Emma and Tessa, and Liam Neeson. And there are a couple other people here too, but those are pretty much the main people, or the main actors, I should say, in the movie. So Tessa Thompson plays Agent M. She's kind of like the rookie. So she takes a place of, well, not takes a place, but she kind of plays a similar character as Will Smith did in the first Men in Black movie, where, she's being introduced to the Men in Black organization, and they're taking her through the ropes as to, what to expect from the job, all pretty much everything that Will Smith had to go through in the first Men in Black movie. Chris Hemsworth is the seasoned agent. He plays Agent H, and he's the one that's kind of showing Tessa Thompson the ropes. So I would say that he's kind of her supervisor in a way. Not really, because, well, technically, he's kind of her supervisor, but he plays more of a partner role in this movie, even though he's ranked higher than she is. You have Rebecca Ferguson. I know her from the Mission Impossible movies, and she's been in a couple other things too. But she plays Riza, I believe it's called. And that's kind of like one of the bad guys, or one of the bad aliens in this movie. You have Emma Thompson, who plays Agent O, who is kind of like the head of the Men in Black organization now. And then you have Liam Neeson, who plays Agent High T. He's kind of like the head of a branch of the Men in Black organization. So, the main gist of the movie is Tessa Thompson learning the ropes of the Men in Black organization. That's really it. And, I can't say it's an exact rehash of the first Men in Black movie with Will Smith, but it's pretty close. There are a couple of differences, but a lot of it is the same. I think the thing that works against this movie so much is that there's nothing really new here, nothing really fresh in this Men in Black movie. Chris Hemsworth, I actually like him. He's actually a really good comedic actor, but in this movie, a lot of his jokes didn't really land for me. He kind of plays a goofball, the goofy, good-looking dude that's, I don't know, it's kind of weird. Like, in movies, they do that. They'll have, like, the goofy, good-looking guy. And, sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. I think in this one, it didn't. Even though I like Chris Hemsworth, I think he's awesome as Thor. He's had a lot of other movies as well that I think he's actually a good actor. He just, the material, I'm not sure if it's a material he gets or what it is, but this wasn't his funniest performance, or it didn't really make me laugh. I'll put it that way. Tessa Thompson's Agent M is a very strong character. I liked her. She kind of some parts of it kind of makes her seem like she knows everything. She knows how to do everything well, which I understand, that's not really it. They're just trying to show that she's very competent, but there's certain parts where they overdo it, and I'm like, okay, well, I understand that she's competent, but she wouldn't know how to do this as being a brand new agent. There are a couple of times here and there they just have to just say, okay, I'll just go with whatever. I'll just go with the movie. I won't try to make any sense of it. Rebecca Ferguson was fine. She actually wasn't in the movie for that long. Her character is more towards the not the end, but well, yeah, I guess technically, her character shows up really more towards the middle to the end, and she does a good job as to what she's given. Emma Thompson as Agent O. I actually like her character, but she's really not in the movie for that much. Which is a shame. I really actually would have liked to see more of her in the movie. Liam Neeson also. He actually does have quite a bit of time in this movie, so that's always a good thing. But other than the big names, I don't really see anything about this movie where it makes me feel like it needed to be made. It was okay. It was decent. There was nothing horrible about it. I listened to some reviews online, and a lot of people were trashing it. I don't really see why. I didn't think it was that horrible of a movie. There were a couple lines that were kind of cringeworthy. There were a couple of, I don't know. It just things that they could have left out of the movie would have been fine. Also, this movie didn't do that well. I'm looking at Wikipedia. It's estimated its budget to be around $110 million, and the box office it made back was $253. And that budget I don't think is included in the marketing. The marketing is included in that budget, so I don't know. It didn't do that well. It didn't do that well at all. But that's what I've noticed about Chris Hemsworth movies. His movies, except for the Thor movies, don't really seem to do that well. And it's, if you go through his movie filmography, you'll see that most of his movies, I don't even think hit 150 to 200 mark, except for like the Thor movies. So, I'm not sure. I don't see them making a second one. I know that if it was successful, the way they set it up was to make more of them, in the future. But I really don't see that, especially how bad it did. It didn't really get a great score from the audience as well. I think on IMDb it's rated 5.6, which is not good at all. And I actually agree with them. That's probably what I would give the movie also. I don't, like I said, the movie isn't bad, but the movie isn't great either. And it's very forgettable. And nothing is really fresh, They have a couple cool action scenes, but nothing out of this world, and nothing you really haven't really seen in the other Men in Black movies, except, well, there is this one, I think it's like a bike or something that's kind of cool. But other than that, it really isn't anything really different about this movie. I think maybe it was marketed wrong. Maybe, I don't know what they could have done to change this movie when it comes to marketing. I just think it needed a better script. They just needed to redo the story and give it a better script. And take some of the lines out of there that weren't necessary. Some of the comedic lines or, comedic scenes that they try to get Chris Hemsworth to do, they could have removed. And I think that would have made the movie flow a little bit better. It would have been nice to see two competent agents, going against whatever threat was coming up against them. Instead, what we get is one competent agent and one kind of goofball. That he was a competent agent. Then he becomes kind of like this goofball for a little while. He can't seem to really get anything done. And, towards the end, you actually do see that he's quite competent, but if it's, I think that's what hurt this movie. If it stayed that they were just both two competent agents doing their jobs, because in the original Men in Black, you know, even though Will Smith is brand new to, you know, he's getting introduced to everything. You know, he's competent, but he's not like, you know, he doesn't know everything. He's not perfect at everything. You know, he has flaws too, but, you know, and even Tommy Lee Jones, like, he's a great agent, but, you know, he has his own things too that he has to deal with. And even though there was comedy in the movie, I don't think any of the agents were really, you know, like Will Smith wasn't goofy, like he was a competent agent. You know, Tommy Lee Jones wasn't goofy, he was a competent agent. They were in goofy situations, they did goofy stuff sometimes. But, you know, you could still buy the fact that, hey, these two agents were competent and they could handle whatever was thrown at them. In this movie, I think really only Tessa Thompson could do that. You know, for the most part. But, you know, I don't know. Like I said, that's just my thoughts on this movie. It was okay. I'll probably never watch it again. That's just my opinion. And if they make a sequel, I'll definitely not see it in theaters. I'll probably wait for it to come out on DVD, if even. But yeah, you know, that's just my thoughts, and thanks again for listening.